Shalom, giving all honor, all praise, and all glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. And as always, peace, blessings, and salutations unto those four like tabernacle of David that are scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth. And this is breaking news. The Israeli Defense Force, on behalf of Satan Yahoo, just striked Iran. They carried out some attacks on Iran. Now, we don't know how severe they are, but, this is footage that they're reporting on throughout these different news outlets. All right. There were probably rockets that were being launched, maybe some drone strikes. I'm pretty sure the Iranians used some missiles to intercept, but we don't know what the damages are. We don't know if there's any casualties. We don't know if any bases were hit, but they did sound the alarm on attacking their nuclear facilities. All right, and Iran, they already been talking about how they're going to continue on, ahead of these talks that they were supposed to have, that they're going to continue on with their uranium enrichment. Really, if they thought that there was going to be any type of peace talks, we're at that time right now where there ain't no peace. The Most High is stirring that in the air amongst these nations. There won't be no peace. As it says in 1 Thessalonians 5:3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction. All right, so it's getting spicy, man. So I'm going to play this little news clip. This is from The Sun. And I also want to get this report because this is just in as well. And I'm hoping that this is actually true, by the way, because then it'll really kick things into gear. All right. When you have, they're reporting that the commander of the IRGC was actually killed in their strikes. All right, so this is a major move if this is all true. And you Persians, you Carmanians, y'all definitely got to roll. So let me play this real quick.
Moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction. They've backed up their genocidal rhetoric.
And this commentary is definitely biased commentary, from the Zionist-controlled media. So, this is their words. But let's continue.
With a program to develop nuclear weapons. In recent years, Iran has produced enough highly enriched uranium for 9 atom bombs. 9. In recent months, Iran has taken steps that it has never taken before. Steps to weaponize this enriched uranium.
Oh, so I should have... Never mind. Speaking of, the devil himself. All right, so he's the one that's actually commentating. This is his response to those attacks. So now he's sticking his chest out. Now, we don't know if anything major, all right, if anything significant was done in their favor as a result of this attack. All right, but if it's true that their commander, which this will be yet another commander. I remember the incident back in 2020 with Soleimani, and they were, very angry, and they, vowed to avenge dude's death. And Trump did that. That was under Trump's administration, his first administration before he was up out of there. And now he's back, and look what's happening. But this time, I believe the U.S. has addressed Israel and told them, we're not going to back you on this if you do this. So they're taking it upon themselves at this point. So we're really going to see. But If Iran takes it a further step and they retaliate with an even more deadlier, more devastating attack on Israel, you already know what's gonna happen. It's gonna draw everybody in. All right. Matter of fact, let me grab that. This is exactly what we need right now, man. In the timing of it, everything, all these things are happening. All right. Everybody's eyes should be open, because there's the Most High. He's letting His word speak. So let me get Jeremiah real quick. 49 and was it 20? It is Jeremiah 49 and 20. It says, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that He hath taken against Edom, and His purposes that He hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely He shall make their habitations desolate with them." All right, so they're going to basically, draw Babylon into this, and this is already becoming, a global event, because America is involved in how many wars right now by proxy? You still got Ukraine and Russia. It's still boiling hot. China's thinking about moving on Taiwan, and now you got this reigniting. Now, I remember, was it sometime last year or the year before, they already had carried out a barrage of attacks on each other. It was like a back and forth. And some Iranian missiles, it got through the Iron Dome defense. All right, so Iran, they can really make a statement this time, because last time, they kind of did. They was able to, get some of they old technology off, and it actually was partially successful by countering and penetrating through that defense, the Iron Dome. So this can very well, escalate, but we're just waiting to see what Iran is going to do in return, in retaliation. All right. So let's continue, and then we'll go back to that report.
And if not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year. This is a clear and present danger to Israel's very survival. 80 years ago, the Jewish people were the victims of a Holocaust perpetrated by the Nazi regime. Today, the Jewish state refuses to be a victim of a nuclear Holocaust perpetrated by the Iranian regime. Now, as Prime Minister, I've made it clear time and again, Israel will never allow those who call for our annihilation to develop the means to achieve that goal. Tonight, Israel backs those words with action. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program. We targeted Iran's main enrichment facility in Natanz.
Also he say. All right, now we're gonna. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be unbiased media, other media sources that'll actually, report what really happened. Right now, we're getting their side, we're getting the mainstream side, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna get the other side. I'm waiting to hear from what's that dude, Scott Rittner. What's the other guy, man? I forget the other guy, but he's a colonel. But I'm waiting to hear, what they got to say in response to this. But if they really hit their nuclear sites, in the places where they actually are producing their uranium and the things that they've been working on, then it's wartime. All right, and expect, by the way, when this escalates, expect for your oil prices, your gas is gonna go up. It's gonna go up crazy. We're definitely in that time, man. Babylon is already. You got all these different insurrections throughout the country, right? These ICE protests. You got, basically the nation is divided, possibly on the brink of a civil war. And then now you got this breaking forth. Let me grab Habakkuk. Yeah, the Lord, he's not holding back, man. It's that time. Habakkuk 2 and 3, it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." All right, and we're seeing multiple things happening. All right, Babylon is divided and fallen, and now you got a nation rising against nation. All right, we're gonna get that scripture too, but let me finish through this.
Targeted Iran's leading nuclear scientists working on the Iranian bomb. We also struck at the heart of Iran's ballistic missile program. Last year, Iran fired 300 ballistic missiles at Israel. Each of these missiles carries a ton of explosives and threatens the lives of hundreds of people. Soon, those missiles could carry a nuclear payload, threatening the lives not of hundreds, but of millions. Iran is gearing up to produce 10,000 of those ballistic missiles within 3 years. Now just imagine 10,000 tons of TNT landing on a country the size of New Jersey. This is an intolerable threat. It too must be stopped. So too do the brave people of Iran, and I have a message for them. Our fight is not with you. Our fight is with the brutal dictatorship that has oppressed you for 46 years. I believe that the day of your liberation is near. And when that happens, the great friendship between our two ancient peoples will flourish once again.
You already know, when you hear the devil talk like that, he really means war. Let's get Psalms 55 real quick. He's showing the whole world who the devil truly is. Psalms 55 and 21, it says, "The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords." And we know that, he's a man of the sword. He lives by that sword. So even when he's talking like that, you already know what time it is. How many times was it in Syria, or was it Gaza? It might have happened both times when he would speak peace and say, we want to have a peace. We want to have a ceasefire, and agree to it, only to turn around and attack. So you should already know when he's talking like that. You should already know. All right, they want to wipe y'all out, just like they're wiping out those Palestinians in Gaza. All right. And this behavior is just going to add more fuel to the fire. With all those neighboring nations, they're going to come against Esau E. All those neighboring Islamic countries, they all going to start coming together, man. Let me get Obadiah 1. Obadiah 1 verse 1, it says, "The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her." Who's the her? Edom. "In battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised." Especially considering that the heathen, they've been spending, the last decade, building up their military firepower, their nuclear arsenals, putting everything they got into the apparatus, so now, they're preparing themselves to be ready to go. Okay. And before you know it, Israel is going to be attacked on all sides. And that's why they're going to need Babylon's help, And once they draw Babylon into it, America into it, that's when Russia is going to step in. Pursuing Ezekiel the 38th chapter, that Gog is supposed to, they're supposed to be gathered with these other nations with helmet, shield, buckler, swords, prepare for battle, and they're supposed to be a guard into Persia, all right, which is modern day Iran. Persia's in there, Libya's in there, and Kush, and those countries so happen to be on that list that Trump put out. That travel ban list. Those nations in Ezekiel 38 that Russia's supposed to be a guard to are on that list. Those are enemy nations that cannot travel here. So, yes, it's eventually it's going to go up, and everything is coming into place the way the Lord said it. All right. So let's finish this out, and then we'll go over to that report.
We cannot allow the Iranian regime to obtain a nuclear weapon that would be a danger to Israel and the entire world. This operation is for our right to exist here, for our future, and for our children's future. The State of Israel has the right and the obligation to operate in order to protect its people, and will continue to do so. The IDF conducted significant preparations for this operation. We are well prepared, both in defense and offense, to defend ourselves. The IDF will continue to defend the State of Israel.
Yeah, and definitely, not from the Most High, because what happened to, depending on the Most High to defend. If you really are the chosen people, why do you need military force? Why do you need nuclear weapons? What about the power? So this is how you know straight up and down that they're not the people. We know according to Isaiah the 2nd chapter that there won't be any war. Isaiah 2 verse 3, and it says, and many people shall go and say, come ye and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law. It's not going forth. The law is not going forth through them. All right, they still have Pink City. Okay, they still have nude beaches. It says, the word of the Lord from Jerusalem, and he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. And that clearly hasn't happened, because what do we call this? Because we know it's up. If they did, major damage, any significant damage, and if they their guard corps leader, if it's true that he's dead, he's deceased from these strikes, then yeah, it's finna escalate. It's about to be up. All right, so let me go over to it. This is the RT, and it says, commander of Iran's Revolutionary Guard killed in Israeli strike. The IDF launched a preemptive attack on military and nuclear sites on Friday. All right, they've been saying it. Now they're saying that they carried it out. All right. For all we know, this could have been just, shots in the air. All right. Maybe a few buildings got hit, but we don't know for sure. All right. But I don't see them taking this laying down. All right. Really any attack of this magnitude. All right. I don't see them just taking this laying down at all. All right. They got, this is Persia we're talking about. All right. Which we know in the prophecy in Second Ezra, was it the 15th chapter? It talks about the Carmanians. All right. And they're going to revert back to their old nature. All right. Along with the dragons of Arabia. Let me just grab it real quick. Yeah, Second Ezra 15 and 29, it says, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. All right, so it's watch how it all go, because Iran, they have a very solid military, and of course they have backing from Russia, as well as China, because they all are in the economic conglomerate. All right, the BRICS nations. All right, they all have economic interests. They all have trade deals. So they have significant relationships. So they're not going to just get tacked and packed out by the Israelis, the Zionists, and there ain't going to be no retaliation. There ain't going to be no help. So this is where it's all going. But I hope that this is true. Okay. And you got Russia preparing for conflict with NATO on the border of Poland. So hey, it's just hostility everywhere, and this is how the Most High is setting it up. As the scripture say in Isaiah 13, he mustereth the host of the battle, because the Lord is a man of war. So let me get that in Matthew 24. Matthew 24, verse 6. And it says, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Yeah, because the MOTB got to be pushed as well. And that's when things are going to go super quick. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. That's what's happening, right? And there shall be famines and pestilences, all type of pathogens, deadly viruses, all type of diseases out there. It says, and earthquakes in diverse places, and it's been a string of those. A lot of volcanic and earthquake activity has been skyrocketing. It's been increasing the past couple weeks. I'm gonna actually put a video up on that. So you got all these insurrections and uproars, and you also got all these strings of earthquakes all over the world. So we're definitely in that time, man. It should be nobody lacking. Shouldn't be nobody, getting weak. All right. Like, everybody should be in, like the Apostle Tahar always say, in maximum overdrive. Because it's going up right now. It says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. All right. And right now here in Babylon, even though you're starting to see things go on, which a lot of it is orchestrated. We already know this, but, in due time, people are going to start to feel the effects. Because remember, everybody, a lot of people getting laid off. A lot of people are without work. There's a lot of homelessness, a lot of home evictions. And now they're in these major cities tearing up businesses. So you really aren't going to have anything on top of the price of everything going up. So by the end of the summer, going into the fall, it's going to be a different environment. And then definitely by the winter, hopefully it's a real dark winter. And even Yahweh Shai said, pray not your flight be in the winter. So I'm going to continue to watch, which the scriptures say that. Continue to watch as well as pray. All right, be circumspect. But it's going down. But we're going to sit back and see what Persia do in response. All right. Hopefully they don't just throw out any empty threats, make empty promises, because they're working now. They're moving. All right. And Satan Yahoo, he got up there flexing. So now the ball is in their court. We're gonna see what comes from the Persian side. So, hey, with that, I'm gonna give all honor, all praise, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and to the next one, Shalom.